Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, some motivational, back with another day trade inspire recap. And real quick, like always, I want to say thank you all for the likes, the comments, and subscribes. Thank you for everyone who's with me on this journey. This is the journey. It is the journey. Y'all are seeing the beginning process of everything. Y'all are seeing me go from an unprofitable trader who makes hella mistakes, and even as a profitable trader, we're gonna make mistakes. But you're seeing me learn from these mistakes for being an unprofitable trader and going to become a profitable trader. Okay, so that's why I thank every single one of y'all who with me, because it means a lot to me, because you're not seeing me make $7,000 in a day, make $500 in a day, and stuff like that. You're seeing me, probably make $70, probably lose $100, make $150, lose $200. Like, you're seeing the small wins, the big losses. You're seeing the mess ups, and that's why I appreciate every single one of y'all who with me on the journey and all the new subscribers that I get, because that means a lot. Because it's easy for someone to subscribe to somebody when they see them making $10,000 in a day, $5,000 in a day. But it really shows. It really means a lot to me, and it shows a lot whenever people are subscribing to you. Whenever you're losing money repetitively or making $70 in a trade, you know what I'm saying. So that's why, like, every single one of y'all really mean a lot to me. And let's get straight into it, okay? So to start the day, believe it or not, guys, oh man, today I missed out on a lot of money. And believe it or not, I already knew price was gonna jump. Okay, and I'll tell you exactly why. And I'm gonna go through I'm gonna go through everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go through why I felt like price was gonna jump. It did exactly this. I still didn't even get into the trade, and oh man, it's a little frustrating, because I knew exactly where price was gonna go, and I still couldn't pull the trigger. But I'm just gonna show you everything that I was looking at, why I felt like price was gonna go up, through the bad news and stuff like that. Okay, so number one, we know when bad news comes out, price goes up. When good news comes out, price likes to drop. Why? Because it likes to kind of trick out the traders, to not give you easy money. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much first off. And so, and honestly, y'all might see a live trade from me during this recap, because I'm waiting right now for manipulation to the upside and then give it some downside drop, because right now we're in a heavy range and we already ran up so heavy, and I do think we are going to get a downturn through this week and potentially next week to give us that pullback that we've been waiting on. And I do feel like it's going to start probably around the end of today, and then towards the end of this week I feel like we will get that downturn. So you might see me get a live trade, because if I see a manipulation and some type of mitigation formation, I will hop in for a sell potentially. I'm not gonna say I will, but potentially, you know what I'm saying. And so as you see, we are getting it broke out of that range right now. It's breaking out of that range. So let me pull up my options just to be safe, and let's get into it. Okay, so y'all might see a live trade from me. All right, so to start the day, why did I feel like it was going to drop? One, because the news was bad. Everything was already sold off. We had this huge gap down. Everything was sold off. And so all the bad news coming out with the Moody's report, Scott Bessent threatening to put tariffs on countries that are not coming to the table, trying to get a trade deal worked out, stuff like that. So there was a lot of bad news coming out, and we already had a huge gap down. And I was like, okay, it's obvious, you know what I mean? It happens every time. And let me actually go to my 1 minute, because it's actually looking good. Came up, swept this range out, give me like a little push and some type of look. This is kind of what I want to see. So we break out of this range, we give a manipulation, little pullback. It can't quite break structure again, and then it starts to do that. Boom. You see what I'm saying? So it would come up, it would break that range, it would come back for like a pullback, and that pullback would try to push up, but that pullback won't quite be able to break structure, so it'll make a lower high, and then it will break down, and then it'll give a retest to like the bottom of this last pullback, or it'll touch like some type of fair value gap and then start to break through this range to the downside. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. But let me try to work through it quick, just in case this trade actually plays out. So real quick, I gotta pull it up on my phone too. I just want to be prepared, because I missed out on the trade. And I'm not going to try to force a trade, but I just want to be ready just in case we have a good type of reversal formation. And so you guys might see a live trade. So that would be awesome, actually. And so, all right, why did I think it was going to drop? Well, everything was at support. Our meta was at support. Like literally every single stock fell to support. As we see, it was at an area of support. It was at the 620, 627 area of support. So that's why I knew it was going to go up, and I still didn't pull the trigger, and that is it's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. But it's all right because there's many opportunities to make money. And I know I always say this, but we just got to be patient, you know what I'm saying? We got to be patient and keep learning, keep studying, and it's going to come, you know what I'm saying? In due time, it's going to come. And ultimately, it comes down to you versus you. And that's why I'm beating myself up over it, because I know it's me versus me. And I know I got to be consistent on capitalizing on my strategy, and and that's what I've been messing up on, is my strategy. Just like whenever I could have made about $300 that one day, and it messed up my whole week because I didn't capitalize on that trade. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's just all me versus me, and I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? And we will get there. You know what I'm saying? We will get there. So look, Meta at an area of support. I knew it was gonna give a bounce. Tesla. Literally every single stock you could think of was at an area of support. It sold off. And where was it? At an area of support. As we can see right here. And what did it do? It gave a bounce. Let me look deeply into it. So Tesla actually started off right here, dropped a little bit, and then bounced. But it was at an area of support, as you can see. Bounced. I mean, we can go anywhere. Let me just go to NVIDIA. You know, I didn't even look at NVIDIA, but I already know it was at an area of support. At an area of support. At an area of support. Sorry about that one, people. Let me turn this off. Okay, it's looking like we're getting that formation forming already. So look, an NVIDIA at an area of support. Like, name a stock and it's at it. Let me go to Palantir. I'm pretty sure Palantir was at an area of support. Palantir dropped below. It hit this area right here, an area of support. Gave a bounce. You see what I'm saying? So everything was at an area of support, and that's why I knew we were going to get a bounce. I'm telling you guys, I look, where does SPY start off at? At an area of support. As we see right here, this was an area of support. And that's where my line was actually messed up, because I had this resistance right here. But it's actually a little bit down here as like an area of support. So we opened up under this resistance and we broke through. When we broke through, so you see what I was looking at. You know, I knew we were gonna get a bounce because all of the areas of support we were at, because of the huge downside, because of the bad news. I knew we were gonna fill the gap. I knew the bad news was gonna give us an uptrend to fake us out, and then we were all at an area of support. So what was I looking at in my 1 minute time frame? I was on my 1 minute, and I wanted to pull the trigger right around here. But I was like, no, the market just opened. We could give us some type of, like, you know, fake out to the down, low range, and then, you know, break up or something. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was kind of iffy to hopping right here. And we were near this area of resistance, but we broke through the area of resistance, and then we tested it. And right here is just, I just didn't get in at it. You know, I didn't see it at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't locked in. I'll just say it. I wasn't locked in on it. And I already knew where price wanted to go, and I just didn't capitalize on it. You know, I'm not gonna make no excuses. I just didn't capitalize on it. You know what I'm saying? That's just that. Could have hopped in right here. And if we go to my 5 minute, what did we do? We gave our test out of area support, our previous resistance, making it support. Huge wick on it. 835, and look, boom, and then we started climbing. Boom, 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 boom. Started climbing, and then right here, This is where I actually try to hop in for a call. Price didn't fill my orders at this one. Believe it or not, Price didn't fill my orders. I hopped in probably right here, right around here. Didn't fill my order. So, I mean, I was just like, all right, whatever. Just canceled it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't too confident in it anyway. So, I was like, all right, whatever. And then, because look, it did come back all the way down, filled this gap right here. And then it did get this uptrend. But, I mean, same time, I probably would have been up, you know, $60, $70. You know, it's only a 70-cent move. So I probably could have been up a little bit of money, but we want this whole trend. This is what we're trying to catch. You know what I'm saying? If this potentially gives us some type of, you see what I'm saying? It's sweeping. It could touch this fair value gap, give us a higher low. Give us a little higher low. And then it could want to break down. And it might just fly through this range. And so, yeah, it's just simple as that. We didn't capitalize off it. But the Moody's report, some of the bad news that's coming out, I feel like we can get that pullback that we were waiting on, okay? Because where are we at on the Fear and Greed Index? We're still in the greed at 70. And so I think we will still get this one last pullback. I think we potentially can still get this last pullback down to our 200 moving day average and fill this gap. That's what I'm waiting on, and I think this week and next week could potentially be the weeks to give it to us, okay? And so that is pretty much it. There's not much news, you know what I'm saying? Is the Moody's report. I went over that on Sunday. I went over that yesterday, sorry. I went over that Sunday. We don't have no news and no data coming out. No real news, but that Scott Bessent threatening other countries with tariffs that aren't coming to the tables. And that's pretty much it, you know. That's pretty much it. Didn't capitalize on the trade today, but I didn't take a trade today. We potentially take a trade on this this sweep of this range if we get some type of, you know, break, you know, pull back higher low and then get another break, you know, test into a fair value gap. We potentially would take a put option, but today might not be a trading day, and we'll be ready for tomorrow. A little bummed out, you know, that we didn't capitalize on it, because today was like a pretty much easy day, you know, to capitalize on the trade. How everything was at support, how there was a big gap up here, how all the bad news, you already knew they were going to give some type of fake out. We're all at support. You know, it was pretty much, you know, an easy trade. It tested support. It followed strategy as it should. And it did everything. And we just, you know, we just fumbled today. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make no excuses or nothing, because making excuses is not how we get better, okay? Making excuses is not how we get better. How we get better is just owning up to where we mess up. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I want to do. Own up to where I mess up and just move on and just get better at it. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that we have more days to trade. It's just Monday, so we have the rest of the week to trade, and we're going to be ready for it, all right? So I love every single one of y'all with me. This is a quick one. You know, usually the videos are 30, 40 minutes long, but it's going to be a quick one, you know what I'm saying? I love every single one of y'all with me. And remember, guys, stay persistent, passionate. Make sure you get paid, all right? Peace.